and well, my guest today, or I could say that he's a lot of things. Basically humorist, but he's also actor and a musician. I don't know, a composer, a dancer, maybe whatever. A lot of things. And he's a joker as well, of course. And well, he's from Latvia, but he lives since a long time ago in London, UK. So I have the pleasure to talk to Gatis Kandis. Hello, Gatis. How are you?
Yeah, hello. I'm very good. Thank you. How are you today?
I'm very well. I'm very happy to talk to you because I had good fun and your videos and well. how is the day in London? Well, I'm in Paris now. He is in London. In Paris, it's very warm today. And how is the weather there?
It's also very warm today. Well, it's been actually warm for past months, and I've been in London like about 8-9 years, and I don't think it's ever been that long in a row for such a long time, because it's been about a month, and every single day it's been very hot, and only like in the last few days it's cooled a little bit down. I mean, it's still like over 20 degrees Celsius.
Yeah.
But now it's more bearable than it was before.
Okay, let me tell, because we have no idea when this interview is going to be listened now, and maybe so if you're now in the 2085, for example, we're talking from the 2014, and he's in London, I'm in Paris, and we're having this conversation because today with internet, maybe we go away, we pass away, and our things keep going on, right? That's amazing.
Yeah, it's true.
Well, I have so many things to ask you, but my goal today is like breaking the mystery, because behind an artist, a humorist, whatever kind of art you express, or there is always someone, some things, some mysterious, some childhood or whatever. So let's see if we can achieve it. But well, let me ask you first of all, when did you start to make humor, and how was it? It was accidental. It was
Well, it was like I always like jokes. I always like to read and listen to jokes and comedy. And then approximately 4 years ago, I took some acting classes in school in London, and then I happened to hear that they also have stand-up comedy course, which sounded very, very much fun to me. So I thought I'm gonna do that one as well. And so I did it. I had no plan to perform at all. I just thought I will, do the course for fun. And so I did the course, and I really, really liked it. And in fact, I liked it so much that I did the same course one more time, straight after the first time. So this time again, it was the same teacher, but it was different classmates, and I really enjoyed the course. And then also at the course, I learned that you are actually allowed to write down the jokes and work on them, because before that I had no idea. I just thought people just go on stage and they're funny and they just talk and make people laugh. I had no idea that most of it is prepared, and so that's what I learned at the course. And then of course after the course I thought I'm gonna try to do it myself, and that's how I started doing comedy.
Mm-hmm. Okay, because if you do a course like you're telling us, it's like you can only have tools, but the sense of humor, it's something that maybe it's innate, it's in your nature, right? It's like
I think so.
Because for example, I was a very shy boy, and when I was like 16 or 17, my mother put me in a theater school, and it helped me a lot. I didn't sublimate it into humor, but I became a musician and a very, very charismatic person, but I was very, very shy in the beginning. So humor, is it for you sort of defense, sort of reaction to some features of your personality?
Not I don't know. Probably. I mean, I wish I, I could. I, probably is, but I haven't really studied that part, and I haven't thought about it so much. And it probably is, but I also, like I said, I also always liked the jokes and like to make silly jokes.
I'll tell you something. Your jokes are not silly at all. You've been labeled like funniest funny comedian, right? For example, but I think that my analysis, it's like you. Of course, it's an unconscious process, but you make your jokes like to seem to be silly, but behind that, there is something very intelligent and something very sensible, and it's like it's part of your mechanic, of building humor. It's really it's very mysterious for me. That's why I'm trying to talk about what kind of humor you do, because you have. It's my point of view, of course. I'm just telling my opinion. It's only an opinion. But for example, you have such an innocence in your way of making humor, almost naive. But for example, we can find one of the jokes like silly in the first 2 minutes, and then maybe in 3 days it can come back again, and we can understand what's behind that. That's why, and that's what happened to the people as well in Britain's Got Talent. They were judging you, right? They were like, it's funny or not funny, but finally it's funny, Do you think? What do you think?
Yeah, I guess so. And often when I do comedy, like sometimes people in the beginning, they're a little bit like surprised because, like my jokes are different, but then often, like after a while, they kind of start laughing because they understand it's funny. Maybe at first they think it's strange, but then after a while they like they think, oh, okay, why not? I'm just gonna laugh anyways.
Yeah. Let's hear some of your jokes, because there are some of them. I already have my favorites. Let's see if you can touch one of my favorites. Can you share us one, for example? Choose one that you're in the mood for.
It's like, with jokes, it's like hard to tell which one is my best joke or the favorite, because it changes every time. When I go on stage, every time.
Of course.
One joke which I thought is the best, all of a sudden doesn't seem to work, and then the other one works, and so it changes all the time. And therefore, I don't know which one is the best, but I can just, say a few anyways. Like,
whatever you
for
feel.
example,
Go.
For example, when it's my chicken's birthday, I don't tell him because he would not understand.
Yeah.
Then I have another animal joke.
I know. Go.
Woof, woof, woof. That's a joke you can take home for your dogs.
Yeah, it's like you like the cow as well. You make a rap for a cow, right?
Oh yeah. Oh yeah, that I did a while ago. I was pretending to be a cow.
That's exactly what I was going to ask. I couldn't leave this out of my observation. I observed that you were a little bit therianthropic. It means that someone that has strong connections with animals. Like sometimes you even feel you're an animal. You can communicate very well with animals. No, serious. Because there are a lot of animals in your jokes and in your videos on the internet, and you seem to be putting, either you put your animals in your condition as human being, or you put yourself in a condition of animals. You seem to be very connected. How is your relation with animals?
Well, no, because I grew up in a country.
Don't take me wrong. My question. I'm making jokes now. You see.
And so yeah, I basically grew up together with animals. Not in the same room, but at the same time.
I hope so.
And so we used to have pigs and chicken and ducks, and our neighbors had cows, and I just always really liked animals. And No, I like at the present I only have cat at home. It's my neighbor's cat. I mean my flatmate's cat, and I like cats a lot. But then I love dogs. Unfortunately, I don't have a dog at the moment. But yeah, I love dogs and all the animals. I like cows. I think cows are very funny looking and just behaving. And I don't know if it's because I grew up with animals or why I really like animals, because I think they're innocent. Like when people do something, so sometimes you can say, okay, it is people's fault for doing something wrong. But I think when animals do something wrong, you can't blame them because they are animals, and so I don't know. I like them a lot.
Yeah. That's absolutely, we can totally see that in your videos. I would like to ask about cow, because in opposition of you, I've never had so much contact with animals except dogs and cats and fishes, because always lived in very big cities. But for example, I understand what a dog is in our life, because I had a lot of dogs, cats as well. Normally cats are more distant, not so friendly, but they are good companies as well. Dogs is definitely the best friend. How is a cow? How is a cow personality? What can you get from a cow as sort of friendship between man and animal? How is the relation with a cow? Because horses are very sweet normally. They take you away. They like to, but cows, I could never connect with cows. The few opportunities I had to be with them.
I don't know. I just I think cows are quite funny. When they look at you with their face, and by the way, I was as I'm living in London, for a while I worked in a city farm, which was a farm in London, and so they had again cows and chickens and horses. And then I remember one morning when I was there, cleaning up, and there's cow. As the cow was out, one cow was running out, and like it just looked, it like ran to other cow and moo in the other cow's face. And I just found it really, really funny, and yeah.
Do they recognize you, for example, as friends? Do they like horses, like dogs, for example, or they are just more? Because the birds, for example, they are not very, very close, no, except some, but the cows, for example.
I mean, I don't know. It's hard to tell with cows, and also I remember, when I was little, our neighbors had cows, and they were milking cows, and it looks very easy when you milk a cow, and so I tried, but I don't know, it didn't work because my relatives, they're milking a cow, like just with hands, no machine, and it looks very simple. And so I tried it. It didn't work. The cow just looked at me and said, "What are you doing? Move away from me."
Yeah, I like your rap about your rapping cows. It's really very funny. Do you remember some little part that you can sing for us? Is it possible?
That one I don't remember because that's been a while ago. But I have like some other raps which I remember.
Do you remember some? Let us hear some, please. Some of your raps.
Okay. Let me just put the beat on.
Oh, that's very nice. That's perfect. That's perfect. Yeah. Prepare your beats and let's hear some of your raps.
So yeah, this one actually is gonna be like, often I always do like funny raps, but this one's gonna be a little bit serious. Like it's basically about the fact that I don't like to do the same thing all the time.
Of course, we have
get
to
bored of it. So
especially humor, because that's the problem. One singer can live of a song for the rest of his life, of a hit, for example. But the humor, once you've done it, it's old. It's very hard to be humorist, right? In this sense.
Yes.
Go ahead, whenever you want.
And so yeah, this one I wrote a while ago. But I'll just sing a little bit of it.
How's it called?
It's called Routine.
Ah, okay.
and yeah, let me
Let's hear it.
let me start the music.
Go.
That's just the beginning. Uh, can you hear the music?
Yeah. It's very good because the music. You should leave the music a little bit not very close to the telephone, to the microphone, and the voice very close. So the music is just the background. Okay?
Yeah,
we're
it's better like this.
That's perfect like this. That's perfect.
Yeah.
We're hearing to Gatis Kandis and he's gonna rap for us.
Here I go. I cannot stand boredom. Let me announce it on intercom. Me and boredom do not click at all. It's like one of us is very short and one is very small. I mean tall. Which would work if it was me and we played basketball, but we do not have a ball at all. No matter how hard we try, we always will be to each other passerby. That's me, Mr. B. Waiting for next one. Okay, now. That's what the routine does to me. I do not wanna be me if I cannot be free. Otherwise, I'm gonna spin anti-clockwise until I need a tree to photosynthesize more oxygen to keep me energized so I can improvise and then dramatize and then visualize the surprise in your eyes while I try to hypnotize innocent butterflies. I don't wanna be needy and definitely not greedy, but do not wanna come upon any limitation, cause that would cause irritation, and then I would need meditation to cool myself down, or else I run crazy around the town and waste some of precious time of local police who must catch me to increase the peace till my release. And I'll do the chorus again.
Yeah.
That's what the routine does to me. I do not wanna be me if I cannot be free. Otherwise, I'm gonna spin anti-clockwise until I need a tree to photosynthesize more oxygen to keep me energized so I can improvise and then dramatize and then visualize the surprise in your eyes while I try to hypnotize innocent butterflies.
Oh.
So
very well.
So yeah, this is. This is one of like little bit more serious ones than the other ones. I have like more silly ones. This more serious.
No, there is absolutely nothing silly in humor. The humor is the silliest it seems to be, the deeper it is. In fact, the simplicity is very important in humor. But it's very nice. It's very nice. And you're a musician as well. We can say that.
Well, I guess I would like to be considered musician, because I really like music. I just, so I try to do that, like, together with comedy.
Yeah, but that, of course, because art is complete, you can express it in a lot of ways, and besides, music is part of a comedy show as well. So of course it fits very well, and your music is always like ironic, rap, and where do you compose it from?
Well, what do you mean when I come?
For example, I'm a composer, and when normally I like to compose love songs, or about life, Your music normally it's connected with your humor, your comedy.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. And okay, and would you like to someday to become a singer as well? Maybe a rapper?
Well, I would. I really like. When I went to Britain's Got Talent the first time, which was 3 years ago, I was doing rap. Unfortunately, I was buzzed off after like half a minute, so it didn't go very well.
No, but it happens, man. Don't worry.
And
but after that,
I enjoy music very much, and then so yeah. At the moment when I do comedy, I pretty much every time I mix it with music. So I maybe do have talking and then have music, and like it's like I do I try to do what I like, but then at the same time I also have to do what the audience likes, because if I do only what I like, then there'll probably be very few people who like it. So it's like, I do what I like, and then I try to adjust to what audience likes, because always if some joke works, then I keep it because people like it, and then I also try to add something new, what I like.
And how do you measure the acceptance of the audience when you, for example, you realize that sometimes you prepare a joke and you think that everybody's gonna laugh a lot, and there is no it doesn't have a lot of effect, and sometimes you just say something and everybody laughs. How do you measure that? Is it immediate?
It's like when
in your live performances,
especially when you have a new joke, and so you just do it a few times. And then if it works every time, then you basically say, okay, it's good. If it doesn't work, it's not good. Or if it works sometimes, doesn't work other times, then it's like you have to think whether I like change it or whether I drop it. So it's it's like but basically by doing it quite a few times in front of different audiences, you kind of decide whether it's good enough to be kept.
Mm-hmm. Well, I wanna ask you something now, because I want to talk a little bit about humor in general, because I realize that your humor is very like, let's say, sweet, very respectful. Most of the jokes are about yourself or nature, things that are not offensive in any kind. But some humor are more like, for example, you can make humor around fat women, about diseases or things like this, for example, or just bullying someone. There are a lot of kinds of humor. What is for you the line of what should be or not should be humor? Is there a limit for you? What is your opinion about that?
Basically, I always when I do comedy, I try not to hurt anybody. Like you mentioned, fat people or people with disease. Like, I think it's a very touchy subject, and even sometimes it might be funny for some people, but then if I know there will be some people who are offended, then I try not to do it, because I always try to avoid offending anybody, and yeah.
No, but your humor is not offensive at all. I know almost everything you've done, and there is nothing offensive at all. But some humorists are more. They're more, because humor sometimes. What I find delicious about humor is that it's the best way to say truths. For example, to say some things that the normal press couldn't say, or poetry couldn't say, for example. Humor is like, because you can say something pretending that it's a joke, and maybe it's not a joke, maybe it's serious.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? It's like I'd like to know a little bit about your experience in Britain's Got Talent, especially the last one you participated, which was the most effective.
Yeah. But by the way, before we go to that, I have one joke which I think could be slightly offensive. So I've done it a few times, but then I haven't really done it a lot. And like a few of my jokes also like kind of based on a rhyme. So that this one is one of them, which I don't use often. As I said, I think it might be slightly offensive. So yeah, basically it goes like, some men do not get married because they believe that variety is spice of life and anxiety is price of wife.
It's not offensive. It's not offensive.
So maybe it rhymes, but then at the same time, I think it's a little bit, not nice to women, and that's why.
The feminists will come with some potatoes to throw in you. No, but
that's why I don't really use it. It's like, because I have organized all the stuff on my phone, and this I put in in a folder called archive. It's like basically I come up with it, but I don't really use it because
No, but it's not offensive. It can it can stimulate some sensibility, of course, but it's not offensive. You wouldn't be sued for that, for example,
And then
bit,
many times when I listen to other people jokes, sometimes the jokes about many different things, and I often find them very, very funny, but then I would never want to do it because I'd be just too scared to offend somebody.
Yeah.
And it's like always people find things funny until it becomes personal. Then because I always like to think that I don't mind people making fun of me, but then you never know. Maybe all of a sudden something changes and all of a sudden you get hurt. So yeah, when I see other people getting offended about some jokes, I think, it's just jokes. But then it could be the same about me. It'd be something different about me that all of a sudden could make me hurt, and I would get offended.
Yeah.
So I enjoy the jokes, but I don't tell them myself.
Yeah, but listen, you're very elegant, very respectful. There is nothing offensive in your. I promise, there is nothing offensive. Of course, anything can offend. Anything can offend. Sometimes, I'm not gonna say situations here because it would be more offensive. But sometimes you ask someone something, and it's offensive. Or if you say someone is fat and you're just saying, it can be offensive. Or if you're saying someone is black, it can be offensive. But black is a skin color, I mean, sometimes I think it's what you mean. But I remember I went in Paris like 3 years ago. I went to see a stand-up comedy in a theater, and there was a joke about Jewish people. And it was a very light joke, very light, very, very light. And you believe someone in the public started to shout, and it was very, 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 very pissed off. Absolutely, absolutely, And I say, wow, it's really, comedy is really something that, because that's it. Comedy is a weapon. Comedy is a weapon, Well, it's very interesting what you've said before, because you say that you like to respect people. You prefer to be teased yourself and not, making fool others, etc. How is your do you have some? Did you feel like teased some moments in your life? Did you have bullying, or I want to understand where this comment comes from. Do you have some situations you felt like ridiculous?
Well, I mean, when I was at school, I guess, as many school kids have been, so I was kind of bullied a bit as well, and so I didn't really enjoy it very much, and I don't know.
It hurts, yeah.
And so yeah, that's why I try to try not to hurt anybody, because it's not a good feeling.
Yeah, but it's a big challenge as well to make humor without hurting anybody, because it's really very, the other day I have a friend, he's a public person, and the other day he made a joke with someone that had just died in his Twitter, and I wrote immediately to him. I said, man, don't say this, because it's someone that just died some hours ago, and you're a public person. Sometimes, of course, you have to put the limits, right, yourself, not to. The joke was very, very good, man. It was very, very good. But it was with someone who just died, So, of course, you can. If you put yourself in other people's skin and you think, I can hurt that or that person, of course, you can stop yourself from doing that. But I think your humor is absolutely innocent and naive, and very intelligent, because we should discover, we should go for it, we should reflect and appear in. If you hear some kind of humor and you find it silly, for example, in the first impression, but it keeps on your mind, and then you find something funny or the clue, that's absolutely intelligent, but we do that by intuition as well. And well, I would like to talk a little bit about Britain's Got Talent. How did you happen to be there? Why did you decide to present yourself? How was it?
Yeah, I was, before that, I've been watching it for a few years, and I really enjoyed, watching it because, the different people doing different things. Because, like I said, I like music and I like comedy and magic, and so that's I think most of that is on that program. So yeah, I was just watching, and then I was thinking, oh, well, what about if I go on it as well? And then yeah, as I said, the first year I went with a rap, then that didn't quite work, and when many people, when they found out I've gone with a rap, they said, oh, why didn't you do comedy? Because around that time, maybe a year before I started comedy, they said, oh, you're very good with comedy, you should have done that. You should have done that instead. So yeah, the next year I went, and then I did the comedy.
Yeah, because you have more than 2 million hits in your YouTube video. That's a lot. It's incredible.
Yeah, it is quite.
It's something good, impressive. Man. It's something good. And I would like to know, for example, after the broadcast, of the show, did you feel in the next days? Did you feel movements on the street? Like, did someone recognize you immediately? Did you feel like?
Oh yeah, definitely.
Your Facebook were exploding of invitations and stuff. How was it?
As soon as it happened, then like basically the next day, and from then on, every day people would recognize me and say hello. And yeah, it was quite exciting. I mean, like now, 2 years later, it's a lot less often. Like, it's only once every few months, maybe somebody, says hello. But then, yeah, when it happened, it was every day. A few people would either say, "Are you well?" or "Oh, there's a guy from Britain's Got Talent." That was quite an experience.
Did you make an analysis why your participation was so remarkable? Why people like it so much? If it was supposed to be the funniest fun, why? Did you analyze why it? The key of success, because people liked it a lot, and they doubt the judge. Even only one didn't give you. There is a secret for. Because your tonality of humor is really different, because it seems to be innocent. There's something there very naive that you believe,
Well, yeah, talking about naive. So yeah, when I was doing comedy in some club in London, and then this guy said, oh, he said his 3-year-old daughter can make better jokes, and he stood up and walked out.
Yeah.
But yeah, like you said, I think because it's it's different.
No, but it's of course it's not just by accident. I think it's part of your intentions as well, to be this way. Of course, we know what you're doing. Of course, you're an artist. It's your aesthetic, right?
Yeah,
I think.
I would say it's probably half intentional and half unintentional, and then then of course, like I said before, when I find something new that works, then I just keep using it, because if it works every time or nearly every time, mm-hmm. then that's good, because that's something I can add to the set.
Mm-hmm. Well, you changing the subject, you shoot the short film as well, right? Flush.
Flush, yeah.
How did it happen? Someone invited you? Production?
This one was
because it's a big production. There are a lot of people involved. Big thing.
Yeah, it was my comedy friend again, like some guy comedian. And so yeah, he I think he's doing at that time he was doing comedy and film, and I don't know if not sure if he's doing comedy at the moment, but yeah. Then he invited me. He said, "Oh, would you like to, take part in that?" Because yeah, he made the video for some short film competition, and he asked me, well, would I like to be the main character? I said, yeah, of course. And yeah, I like the story.
The story is very nice. I liked it a lot. Like the struggling of being boss or not being boss, and well, of course, behind this there are a lot of meanings as well. It's very nice, and you act very very well. So you like to act, as you can see.
Definitely like to, because like I said, I went to take these acting classes in this London school, and only then I found out about this kind of comedy course. And so yeah, I always like acting. If I have a chance, I'll do it. But then, sometimes I don't know, where or how I can do it. So, and then at least with comedy, I feel like I can always do something. I can do when I'm at home by myself. I can still work on it. With acting, I would need other people, and there is not always a chance. So then, while I cannot do that, I just work on comedy.
Yeah, but you can make some castings if you want. You can look for castings. Of course, you have to start in theaters and making contacts. But yeah, it's a beautiful career as well. Yeah, besides you studied that, so of course it should be. And how is life in London?
It's I like London. I like the fact that everything is here. And well, of course, comedy, and so it's like everything is close by.
Yeah.
And I really, before I came to London, I lived about a year in Bristol, which I also liked a lot. But,
really? Okay.
And like I said, that I would like to just live on a farm, as I did when I was little. But then at the same time, I want to have all the benefits of being in a big city.
Yeah. Well,
so
London is London. It's London.
That everything is here. So if I need something, then it's here. That I don't have to travel somewhere else. That it's here.
I go to London very often. I love London. It's like when I need to disconnect, I go to London and I stay like 2 days, and I just walk on the streets and any place, the only fact of having the cars going in the wrong sense, it's already some sort of, getting to another part, It's very interesting city or town. And I would like to know a little bit about you now, about your life, your childhood. You're from Latvia, which is a country that there is not a lot of information. Not everybody knows a lot about Latvia. So let's know a little bit through you, a little bit about Latvia, how was life there, etc., etc. So describe your country yourself.
Okay, let me Google it. Let's see what Google says.
Oh, come on! Are you kidding?
No, it's a little country. About 2 million people live there, and yeah, it's very nice. There's lots of forests, and it's beautiful. And but then because I kind of felt I wanted to do the kind of thing I'm doing right now. That's why I moved here, because I felt there wasn't enough. I think just recently I think in capital city Riga they started doing comedy as well. But there wasn't comedy like stand-up comedy before in Latvia. I think just very recently.
Yeah.
There was actually a show on the internet a few weeks ago, I think which I was invited to watch, but then at that time I was doing comedy. I haven't seen it, and I still need to find out if it's still online, but I can watch it. I haven't seen it yet.
Yeah, I almost went to Riga some months ago. I was going to Moscow from Paris, and I should have a connection, but finally I went to Hungary. But I'm very curious. Well, let me tell you something as well, that I have a very, very good friend from Latvia. He lives in London. I met him in London, so of course this country is like already in my head. But the East, not only Latvia, but all the East, the countries in the East, they have like a special mood, right?
What?
For example, in your childhood, or well, I don't know your age. I'm not gonna ask you, but for example, in your childhood, or maybe a little bit before you're born, it was part of the big SSSR, no, the Soviet regime. Yeah. So it's like, how is the the characteristics of the Slavic people for you? What's the difference between, for example, British people and Slavic people in general? Not only Latvians, but Slavic people. Do you understand the question? For example, I like a lot. I go to Moscow, for example. I like my friends in Moscow because people are very, very sweet and calm, and it's not a mood. Like for example, in London, people are more distant, more cold. Do you remember a little bit about the country being Soviet Union? Do you have information from your parents?
Well, I was actually I was born in I was part of Soviet Union because I think Latvia got independent when I was about 10 years old.
Okay.
So yeah, I was about 10 when Latvia got independence.
So you have some memories about that time.
And so yeah, and I remember when I was little, like 10 or before, in the shops we would have only all the basic things, and we didn't have all the colorful wrapping. It was just plain bread, plain bottle of milk, and so yeah, it was different. And then I remember when I was maybe 10 or I don't know how old, but then when the like Snickers bars and Mars bars came in, it was like very it was very exciting because all this wrapping, the paper was all colorful and like nice writing. It was something we never had seen before. And so yeah, at that time I was collecting the empty Snickers boxes. It seems silly now, but then because I never seen them before and I thought it was so exciting that I collected them as well as the empty beer cans, like Heineken.
Mm-hmm.
And so yeah, that was exciting for me. I know many people did that. They collected them. I mean, I thrown all that away a long time ago, but then it was just something, very different from what we've seen before. And also I remember bananas. We never had bananas in Latvia.
Really?
And I think for the first time I saw banana was those dried ones.
That's really nice because banana is such a common fruit. And
I really liked it. And then eventually the big fresh ones came in as well. And yeah, we never had them at first because I seen them on the cartoons or in films, and I thought, wow, that's exotic, or like pineapple, bananas. I think oranges we did have, but pineapple and bananas we never had. And we knew about them, and then when they first came, it was something amazing. It was exotic fruit. Yeah, I know, like you said, bananas is very common fruit. But we didn't have them at all when I was little.
Even Coca-Cola, McDonald's, it was dedicated subjects in SSSR, right? It's really, the regime was very, very, very like closed. And I can't avoid to make a question that really I like to know from people like you who lived a little bit in the old system and live now in democracy in democratic countries like ex-SSSR countries. Do you miss the times? Do you have nostalgia for the times, or your family, your parents?
I think probably many people miss the childhood because childhood is kind of like because you you didn't have to, plan or worry about anything, and he could just, play. Because, we, as I said, we lived in the countryside, and there was pretty much nothing of the modern stuff. So, the way we played, we went in the forest, we were like, because where I lived, there was it was house, and there was pretty much forest just 100 feet away, like big forest. So we would go to the forest, maybe make a bonfire or play hide and seek. Like one.
You had a fairy tale childhood.
Like one. I think that I put this story on YouTube as well. One winter when my brother went into the forest, so I was following his footsteps, and because I got neighbor's dog, and the neighbor's dog was following, so I was like very excited. I felt like a detective. I thought I'm gonna find my brother, surprise him. Because
nice.
I knew he went in the forest just for a walk, and it was winter time, so you could see it by the footsteps.
Yeah.
So we were following, but then after a while we went into like thick.
I understand now your love for animals. Of course, it comes from these.
And so yeah, there was no snow, and then suddenly the dog ran away and left me, and so I got lost, and I was like for a few hours I was lost in the forest, and I climbed the tall trees because in this little village where we live there's like very tall TV tower, and usually you can see it from anywhere. But even I climbed the tallest tree, I still couldn't see that, so I was lost for a few hours. And then, like very shortly before I actually found my way out, I saw two big wild boars. And so first I heard the cracking noise, so I looked, and about 10 meters away there were two big ones. And then I was frozen with fear. Like when they say frozen, I was frozen. Like I couldn't move. I was like so scared because it was like a shock. All of a sudden you're in a forest. There's nobody else there except two big boars, and they're very, very, very strong. Like if they are angry, it's very dangerous.
They always angry. They can be friendly as well.
They can be friendly, but like if they have babies, then they're dangerous. And I'm guessing I was as scared as if I saw a lion there, because that's how I was frozen. I tried to move, I couldn't. But then luckily for me, they just like ran away, and then shortly after that I found my way out. I was a few miles away from my home, so I just walked back.
What you're telling is something serious. Oh my God. You could not for just a little bit you wouldn't be here talking to me now. Oh my God, that's I guess maybe they don't have babies in winter time, but yeah, if they have babies, then they're very very protective of them, and they're very, very strong. They pigs. It's like a home pig, but it's a wild. No, but pigs are quiet. They're friendly.
Usually, yes.
They're not aggressive at all. I don't think so.
But no, because I heard some stories before that some pigs, the wild boars.
Oh yeah, of course.
They have attacked people, and of course, because this was in my mind, that's why I didn't know what to expect. That's why I was frozen with fear.
Yeah, I have a friend. She has a theory that if you love the animals, if you respect the animals, even if you're in a forest, if they feel that you're not threatened for them, they're not going to do anything with you. Even snakes or lions, they can just pass. They just can't feel, because human nature are so aggressive to animals that sometimes they have these feelings that we are enemies, right? If they feel comfortable, they don't come to you.
I agree with the theory, but then like sometimes like I said, I love dogs, but sometimes if I walk in a park and there's like very huge dog comes to me, then I get a little bit scared, and of course I think dogs and animals can feel it, and then I try to pretend I like you, but inside I'm a little bit scared, because when you see a huge dog, then you kind of think, oh, it can be more dangerous to you. Because when I see average sized dogs, I always try to pet them if they come close, But then, yeah, when I see a huge one, then I get a little bit scared.
Yeah, dogs can be dangerous, of course. Dogs can be dangerous because, especially if you are in their territory, or if you know. But normally they are friendly. But the same, yeah. If you feel like someone is coming to you, right?
Yeah, and then yeah, a couple days ago I went for a walk in park, and there was a lady with like 5 or 6 dogs, and she had 2 like very huge dogs, and then a couple smaller ones, and then the one smaller one came towards me, so I was just trying to pet it, and then this one of the big dogs saw it and like growled at me, and because it was big, it kind of scared me a bit.
Yeah. Okay, Gatis, I would like to share with you one of my very favorite phrases of you that I've collected here, and then I'm gonna ask you to tell some other jokes, something that you like for closing the interview. But I'll tell you one that I really made me laugh a lot really. Like, tell you, unisex toilets are my favorites because girls are much more friendly than they are in the ladies' toilet.
Oh yeah.
This is like humor. You see that apparently it's like a little innocent, but then it's really so true. Are you shy with girls? Because this is a very recurrent subject of your humor as well. No girls, and I'm a straight boy, etc. Are you a shy guy with girls? How is your?
I think I am. Yeah, like especially when I was in school. Like you said, you were shy. I was like very shy at school. I was I was so shy that I would be ashamed to wear a T-shirt with short sleeves. Especially like we had this sports class. Then I'd be warm, but instead of taking off my big jumper, I would keep it on because I was I didn't want to show my hands.
Really?
And I was like, yeah, I was extremely shy. Like when I was little. Now I'm still shy, but as I do comedy, I get a little bit more confident. And
no, but of course, I told you in the beginning of this interview, humor it's a weapon to defense of some features that we have. Of course. But you were shy at this point. That's incredible. You're very very shy.
It's like I can be. It's like yeah.
And now it's better, your confidence now that you got adult. It increased a little bit your self-esteem and confidence.
Yeah.
It's better now.
Oh yeah. It's definitely better now.
Okay. Well, I'm gonna ask you to finish this interview with something funny for us. But before that, I would like to thank you so much for this good conversation. And well, it was really very, very, very cool, and I had a lot of fun, and it's gonna be remembered forever. So thank you very, very much. I hope you had a good time as well, and thanks for letting us know a little bit about your life. So
yeah, thank you for having me.
Yeah, no, it's a pleasure. And there is something else I want to ask you, because in some videos you teach how to generate electricity, how to boil water in whatever. Are you a frustrated inventor or engineer or something? How did you come with these ideas up?
Well,
so bizarre, electricity in the body and stuff,
Yeah, the nature and physics is something I really enjoyed when I was at school. Like, I don't want to, when I was at school, I think I was probably best in physics. I don't like to say ever I was best, but I think I was maybe best in my class at physics, and I really like science and physics, and so yeah, that's just another part that I really enjoyed. And I actually, after I finished high school, I started studying physics in university. But then
okay, of course, it's completely understood now.
but then I don't know. All of a sudden in university, the physics was like it was completely different. It was all the formulas after formulas, and like it wasn't. I couldn't connect it like with reality, and it just became incredibly boring. So I didn't do it anymore. But yeah, in high school I loved physics.
But you couldn't connect with the reality because
no, because they were like complicated formulas, like numbers, and so it wasn't like in high school. There were like a formula about speed or gravity, and you could see it in your head. But then all of a sudden in university, it was like all completely different.
There is a Doppler effect or a twin effect, maybe, because if you're an engineer, you should nourish yourself with physics, for example. But you are an artist, so the best thing for you is metaphysics more than physics, because artists are not physical, they're metaphysical, which is much wider and in another area. But talking about this, because it's very, very interesting that someone that has artistic abilities like you studied physics. And do you think that we have especially when I do it myself sometimes, I talk to myself some things like, what do you think about these? Yes, and like if I were to, and one of your videos is like a twin, a conversation with yourself. Do you think that we have the artists, like we have two like polarized personalities, two sides, like yin yang? Like maybe one of these two sides of you, they like physics and the other one is artist, for example. Is it possible?
Well, yeah, I think definitely possible. Like I said, I really enjoy the physics that I can understand, and then of course I like comedy, and I like both things a lot.
Okay. And your goal for the future? What if you had no limits? If everything was possible for you in this life? If you were the owner of the world, for example, what would you like to do? Because of course we are always limited by circumstances, by money, by opportunities, etc., etc., etc. But if there is no problems for you to achieve anything, what would you like to become, like in your career? A famous humorist, musician, or you want to own a show? What kind of goals do you have, if you have?
I don't know, like we're really like I said, I wanted to be actor before, and I guess I would still want to do it, like if I had a chance. And really, I would do anything that makes me happy, and of course I would want to do something also where I can help as many people as possible.
Oh, that's
and
nice.
And so I cannot know for sure what's gonna happen in the future, where I am at the time. And I would like to be an actor or comedian, or I think actor and comedian is quite close to each other.
Well, let me tell you that you are a comedian already. You don't have to become maybe an actor, yes, because you have only one, but comedian definitely you are. Definitely, there is nothing else to prove. You just have to keep growing, of course. Okay, man, I'm very, very, really happy to have talked to you. I talked to Gatis Kandis, and I would like you to close this interview with something for us, that whatever you feel inspired to do now.
Okay, I guess I want to tell a joke, but then I think you heard, those jokes you might have heard already.
No problems, man. Public is always coming, new public, no problems about that. Besides, this interview is like compact, and you have a lot of information about you, and it's nice as well if all of your jokes are here. For example, if you want, besides whatever you want to say, but one of the jokes that I would really like to hear, I know you don't like to repeat them a lot, but maybe if you're in the mood, the one that you took to the Britain's Got Talent, because it was really, really very funny and innocent and cute even, But go ahead, you can say it again.
Well, it's like maybe I'll just say few. Like I said before.
Yeah, of course. Take your time.
You can never know which one's best at the time. So yeah, well, one of them is when I'm quite strong. I can lift 100 kilograms. If I lift 10 kilograms at a time. And then, by the way, did you know that centipede? Do you know what centipede is?
Centipede.
Centipede.
Centipede. Yes, of course.
Little insect.
Yeah, with 100 feet, of course.
So yeah, did you know that the centipedes have about 20 times more legs than a spider? And so, did you know that?
I wondered because a spider has 8 legs, right?
Yeah. So then I have a follow-up question. Then why do spiders walk faster than centipedes?
Good question, man. It's a good question. I have no idea.
It's a good. Then I have another question. Why do girls on the train always pretend that they don't know that I am staring at them?
Yeah, that I hear. It's very good. Yeah, that's a real, very true thing. Yeah. They know it, of course.
Yeah, they just pretend not to.
Do you when you go on trains, you try to look at girls, and when the train is very.
I don't try to, but it just it's too tempting not to.
Yeah, of course. Especially, you see, when the train is very, very full, and everybody should be very close, and you choose the person you want to be close to, in order to be very, very touching,
And also, especially when it's as hot as it's been for the last month.
Yes, exactly. This summer is definitely very, very okay. And do you want to close with that one from Britain?
Yeah.
Do you want? Do you feel? If you feel,
So I have a question for you.
Go ahead.
Are you well?
I know this.
Sorry?
I'm a person, people.
That's right, you are a person.
I know this one. I was prepared for this question.
Okay, I'm not sure then which one you meant.
You're not sure what?
No, I think maybe you meant me to do a certain joke, which I'm not sure about which one you mean.
Which one I mean? What do you mean by that?
No, because I had a feeling you wanted me to say a joke, but I didn't.
No.
I had a feeling that you mean a particular one, but I'm not.
At all. That's perfect. I like this improvisation and just tell whatever you want. It's a conversation.
I can also tell you that I like my women like a straight guy does.
Are you a straight guy?
Yeah. I even have a song about.
I know, man. I know. That's tell. You know what? Remember a little piece. It's very suspicious. Singing to people, trying to prove to people they're straight. I should suspect about that. I'm sorry, it was a joke. I'm a joker as well.
No, I mean, people usually laugh. So, like I said, if people laugh, then I keep it.
Of course. Okay, and what else?
So I've been told that I look foreign to this country and the planet. Siri told me that. That was an iPhone joke.
Oh yeah, iPhone 4 should pay you a very big salary, man, because you make a lot of publicity for that.
I know they should, but they haven't.
They should sponsor you, man. They could. It's just nothing for them, They should sponsor you. Definitely. Are you a very technological guy?
I really, I think this maybe goes a little bit together with physics. I really like technology. And so I like iPhone a lot.
Okay, well, okay, well, and the British Got Talent joke. Do you remember the one you told on the show?
Not sure.
By the way, the second show. By the way, you owe a lot to that joke because that what brought you to, to the public, to the big public, and I would say.
Well, yeah, and I thought it was the audio one, but I'm getting feeling that you mean some other joke.
Yeah, whatever you want. That's okay. Whatever you want to share. I can't make jokes because I would like to make some for you as well, but I can't. I'm very bad at making jokes.
No, I don't know. I can.
I mean.
Okay. Do you want to hear a new one, which I never said before?
Of course. Go
okay.
ahead.
So, you know how the world's getting overpopulated.
How the world is getting overpopulated.
I mean, have you heard that?
Of course. Millions of
supposedly becoming a problem.
Yeah, of course.
So I think the reason for overpopulation is that people are too good looking.
Ay. And how do you create your jokes? By the way, they come to you like these, or you search them?
I think mostly they come to me when I think when I do something, or when I and then of course after I had it, then after I think, how can I improve it? Can I improve it? And then I work on it, and then I perform it many times. But most of the time they come to me. Now when I try sometimes to write and force, it's very, very hard, because it's like because I remember when I was little in Latvia, I was like I said, I was always reading the anecdotes, and I really enjoyed them, and I was always wondering, how do people come up with it? But then I think most of the time it's just things happen in real life, and then people either exaggerate or change it. I think that's probably how most of the jokes are created, from the real life.
Okay. Well, Gatis, it's such a pleasure, man, to have talked to you, and definitely, if I go to London, if you perform, I will see you, because I really want to be in your stand-up.
So you said you come often to London. How often do you come?
I come for example, I might be going the next month probably. I live 2 hours from London by train. Imagine. It's nothing. I can go and come in the same.
So that's because sometimes it takes me 2 hours to go to a gig. I mostly.
That's why I'm telling you, it's nothing. It's really very easy. It's very affordable.
I mostly gig only in London, but then sometimes when I do it in the other side of London, it could take up to 2 hours to get there. So.
Yeah, of course, because Paris and London are very connected, very connected cities. Like, you can fly to any place very easily. You can take trains directly to any place. It's very, very, very. But I hope I have the opportunity to see you live, performing live one day. And it was a big pleasure to talk to you. I thank you so much for this conversation. That I could keep hours here, of course, hours, because so many things. And let me wish you a beautiful career and all the best. And that's it, man.
Merry Christmas to you as well.